Now we'll open. Father, Mother God, Source Spirit, Creator of all that is, thank you for bringing us together and giving us this great opportunity to teach, practice, and learn awakening dynamics. Thank you, and namaste. All right, welcome everyone. This is Tips for Energy Healing number N, number 8 it looks like. And so I think you guys will like this one. The topic we have for tonight is me and mass consciousness. And I decided to put this one together because I've noticed that not only is this seems to be affecting me more, I find myself going more and more to this in private sessions with people. That pretty simply, that everyone, I think everyone here went through the level 2 training, the Master Healer Intensive. And one of the topics we cover there is a really wonderful technique developed by Terry O'Connell called the downloading distinctions. So you may remember we did things like, I know the difference between my father and my husband. I know the difference between my mother and all other women. I know the difference between sympathy and compassion, stuff like that. So really powerful stuff. For those that want a refresher on it, check your level 2 manual. This is also present in Terry's advanced digging download. So you can find it there as long as a nice list of things to download on if you want a list. The thing I wanted to call out was, and then you guys may remember we did an exercise. I know that we did I know the difference between my energy and other people's energy. I know the difference between my thoughts and other people's thoughts, things like that. The piece I wanted to introduce today is something that I found myself doing more and more recently. It's the difference between you and mass consciousness. And so for example, the download would be, I know the difference between my thoughts and the thoughts of mass consciousness. I know the difference between my fear and the fear of mass consciousness, that sort of thing, right? So all the list you guys saw in the level 2, the Master Healer Intensive, and all the lists from Advanced Digging, you're welcome to use them. Boom, just insert you and mass consciousness. I think would be a great exercise to do. The reason I'm seeing this more is it does seem like the last 4 or 5 years, there has been more chaos, more uncertainty, more fear, more anxiety than I think any time in my lifetime. And I was born in the early 70s when the Vietnam War was raging and Watergate and all that, right? I think we're going through now is significantly worse. And we're not here to talk about politics, but there's multiple wars going on, political instability and violence all over the world, including what used to be the more stable, peaceful, industrialized democracies, including the United States and Great Britain and Germany, etc. And it's really nuts. And what I've seen is we're kind of in a crazy time that economics has always been an interest of mine. I've always been fascinated by the economic way of thinking. And when I was in college, I actually was scheduled for a while to do a double major in computer science and economics. I eventually ditched it because I realized there was really no additional value for having a second Bachelor of Science degree. Nobody cares, right? It was just an enormous amount of extra work for nothing. But one of the things going on that's so crazy is there's a lot of things you'll see that in theory, the economy is strong. The macroeconomic numbers look good in terms of at least what I've seen. I don't know if they're fudged or what, that supposedly unemployment is low and consumer demand is strong and all these things. But there's enormous amounts of signs of people suffering. And it's a really crazy thing. I don't think we've ever seen this kind of mess, at least not to my knowledge. And I'll just throw out one piece, and this is just one tiny piece of a huge puzzle, that animal shelters around the country are in crisis because there's so many people getting rid of their pets because they can't afford them anymore, which is heartbreaking. And it's not just a few people, it's a lot of people, enough that I've seen all sorts of things in the news about animal shelters. They're understaffed, they're underfunded, they have nowhere to put all these animals, and it's a mess. And this, again, this is not about animals, just one piece of a big picture. So there's a huge amount of suffering, of uncertainty, of fear, of overwhelm that's out there. And I personally have been feeling it. For a while, I thought there was something wrong with me. That many days I wake up with this giant knot of anxiety in my chest. And I'm just like, what is this? It's a new sensation. The best answer I have is that mass consciousness, there's so much fear, so much uncertainty, so much pain going on that those of us that are empathic, which is me and everybody here, we're starting to get affected by it more and more. And so I found myself going to this with clients a lot more than I ever did before to try to sort that out. And if you aren't already doing it, one thing I'd encourage everyone to do is to, and there's a lot of different versions of this technique from different teachers and modalities, is some kind of process to separate out your stuff from everything that's not yours. So lots of ways to do that. You can do it with heal, and I've seen many other modalities and teachers. And that's kind of what these downloaded distinctions is for. And so I think we're all being affected by this. And if you don't know better, it is difficult to tell the difference. The tutorial example that Tara used to use talking about this stuff is parasites. That what she said was a lot of people, when they do a parasite cleanse, stop the cleanse because they feel like they're going to die. You'll hear that. You talk to homeopaths, naturopaths, people that do a lot of cleanses. It's a very common experience. Now, are people stopping because they are literally about to die? Their human body is going to have a heart attack or something? Generally not. What's going on is all the parasites living in your body, primarily the digestive tract, start freaking out and screaming, oh God, we're going to die, because the cleanse is coming in and it will kill them, right? That's the point of the cleanse, is to kill them and get rid of them. But for many people, especially if you're empathic, you may not know the difference between your thoughts and energy and beliefs, as well as the things living in your body. So a very similar thing happens with mass consciousness. It can be difficult on the surface for an empath to know the difference. Is this your fear and anxiety and uncertainty or anger? Or is there just so much in the air that you're feeling it, even though it's not yours? Does that make sense? So what I wanted to do, I wanted to lead everyone just through a quick healing process. We'll do this as self-healing. So everyone, you'll do it for yourself. Then we'll take questions and go to our groups. Sound good? So for everyone following along, just close your eyes. Think prepare to me. Imagine a flash of light. And just think heal. Clear all the energy, emotions, thoughts, feelings, etc. in and around me and my space that don't belong to me. And then witness. I like to use God's vacuum here. You could also use clean or heal. They're kind of the same thing. And I like to witness God's vacuum just sucking up all the fear, the negative thoughts, the psychic attacks, all other people's energy, the mass consciousness permeating, and send it up into Creator's light to be transformed. Stay with it as long as you need to. Whenever you're done, think finish. Shower and rinse break. And I'd love just to see a show of hands, or let me know in the chat room. Anybody feel or notice a little difference after doing that? Again, stay as long as you need. And if you need to take longer, go for it. There's no rush. What's the difference everyone feels? Okay, Sheila's head feels warm. That might be because it's about to explode, or it might be healing, one of the two. You guys should all watch Scanners if you haven't seen it before. It's a great movie. To me, I feel a little clearer, like there's a little less static in my head, if that makes sense. And it could be I'm just been getting more empathic and I'm noticing it more. That's certainly a possible explanation too. But I think, talking to some other people I know around here, I don't think I'm the only one feeling this. It seems to be a lot of people are feeling more stress, more worry, even if your life is going relatively okay. And if your life isn't, then it's even more difficult to separate it out because some of it is yours,
Yeah.
but some of it's not. Question shares.
I've definitely been feeling it. And I think we mentioned that last time we talked, that some days I just go, what? Why am I feeling like this? And I go, oh, it's not me.
Yeah.
It's everything that's happening out there. And yeah, so I've been working on it in terms of just referring it back to the creator. It's like this energy is out there and we are all awash in it, but we don't have to take it as our own. We just refer it back to the creator, as in, okay, redistribute this energy.
Yep. Let's use it for something positive, right?
Yeah.
Good. Cool. Brian feels lighter. Awesome. Any other shares, questions?
Not just lighter, but I mean also like the weight that's off my shoulders, on an emotional level too,
Yeah.
emotional and physical both.
Yeah.
Just feel more. I wasn't empathic before I joined Awakening the Dynamics, so that's an interesting thing. But I also mentioned technique that I would use with people that I use myself. I'll just share it. It's not my technique. I got it from book The Empaths, the Bravo Guide. Is that when you feel being attacked, you just say to yourself, "Return to sender, return to sender." And even if you don't know who that person is that's coming from, you just say return to sender. It does. It's not as powerful as what we just did a minute ago with you, but it's another way to do it.
It's
If you,
something,
yeah, something a little bit, yeah, it
Yeah.
helps.
Lots of good processes that are out there. Brent would recommend use the one you're actually going to keep using, whatever that looks like.
Well, I've also been feeling it more like coming in front of my face, and I feel that's part of um, my process, and what I'm doing here is just it needs to show up in front of me. And I don't remember if I told some of the people here, but I just went to Denver and I had changed a flight thinking, oh, I'm going to get there a little too late and then, make it an earlier flight. And I'm sitting comfortably and I'm listening to them announcing Cincinnati this, we're boarding and things. And I'm just reading a book. And then I look up and I see there's nobody at my gate. And I see that they changed it and I ran. It was in a completely different terminal. So I ran all the way and I didn't make it. And I went, oh my God, what was that about? They changed me to the later flight that I originally booked. And I said, was I supposed to do calisthenics? What? But as I'm walking back, there was somebody at one of the food vendors who collapsed. Like right when I got there, I was like, oh, that's why the universe had to shift this for me and just be there and give them I didn't ask them because they were out of it, if I could heal them, but I just stood in presence for them and created that for them and helped their other workers. No, don't sit them up, lay them down, lift their feet up and things like that. But it was just like things like that keep happening for me more and more, where the world says these things are disconnecting. This is chaos. And then just recognize that we have something within ourselves that can help return this to the creator.
Sure.
Rather than even returning it to the sender, just return it to the creator.
That's what Terry had taught me. Just send it back up to the creator's light to be recycled into something useful.
Yeah.
So any other comments, shares around the topic of the day? And if you guys don't know what to do today, there's a suggestion. All right, we will turn off the recording. Goodbye, posterity, at least for now.